15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. Welcome back on the show. Thank you very much for investing your time into this episode and being back. And we're not going to keep this very long. We want it quick and powerful, your little energy episode for the week. And today I want to pick up on a topic again, and it's balance. Balance is this mystical word and everyone talks about it. I get asked a lot, how do you keep the balance? How do you do all these things, keep the balance between having fun, making money, all those kind of things? And I think it's a very interesting topic because people look at balance like a destination. And I always say to them, it's not a destination. My view on balance is you have to understand when are you moving away from balance and when are you moving closer to balance. And those seasons change. And that's why I made this episode, The Balance Myth, why you need to stop chasing harmony and start choosing what deserves your energy. And that's an important one. There's a huge difference. If I tell you that life balance is one of the most dangerous lies in personal development, would you believe me? Well, I can tell you it is. We've been taught to believe that a balanced life is the ultimate goal, where everything gets equal time and attention and all the plates spin perfectly in the air. But here's the truth, tribe, that I want to share with you. That's not how real life works. Balance isn't natural and it isn't the goal. Real growth and fulfillment comes from intentional imbalance. And that's an important one. Remember this, intentional imbalance. Leaning fully into what matters most right now and unapologetically letting other things take a backseat. Today, I'm going to give you a framework that removes the guilt, clarifies your priorities, and helps you create momentum like never before. So I hope you have something to make some notes or listen to it over and over again. I promise you, if you use this, if you follow through with it, it will bring a bit more light into that dark hole of balance. What's the problem here? Well, trying to balance everything at once makes you spread your attention too thin. You will feel constant guilt for neglecting areas of your life. Miss opportunities for breakthroughs because you never go deep enough on anything. The bigger problem? Well, you end up living for the appearance of balance instead of the reality of fulfillment. And what's the cost and consequences here? Well, chasing balance is exhausting because it keeps you stuck in reactive mode, always shifting energy to even things out instead of doubling down where it really counts. The cost is massive. Let me give you a couple of points on that. Diluted results in every area. Emotional burnout from trying to please everyone and tick every box. Stalled momentum. You never push far enough in one direction to create lasting change. And that's the point. That's where it goes wrong. So let me share a 5-step framework with you as every week that you can use right now to turn the tables and change this narrative around. Step number 1, identify your current season of life. It's an important one, understand that. Ask yourself, if I could only move the needle in one area of the next 90 days, which would have the biggest impact on everything else? Life has seasons. Your job is to recognize the one you're in. It's like me with my Wheel journey. I picked up my Wheel, I started spinning, I wanted to perform, I wanted to get on a stage, prove that at my age you can still do something crazy like that. So for a short, intense period of time, for about 2 years, I've trained sometimes 5 to 6 days a week. I've put in between 4 and 7 hours every day to bridge the time because I was old already. I had lost all the time that people had that maybe started with the hobby at like 20 and even younger. So I just compressed my life. And in that time, I did have to make sacrifices, but there was something that I got back in return. And that's what I talk about. Sometimes you have to crunch down and you have to understand that and the reasons why. Life has seasons. Step number 2, define your anchor priority. Your anchor priority is the single focus that gets the majority of your attention. Everything else becomes secondary deliberately. This cuts noise, creates clarity, and builds momentum, and you can focus on something that you need right now. Step number 3, reframe guilt as proof of focus. You will let some things slide. That's normal, and that's a sign you're playing strategically. Guilt is not failure. It's evidence that you're no longer trying to be everything to everyone. Be decisive in what matters, because very often you're just dragged around because of peer pressure, because you're trying to conform to something that other people want from you. And that's not necessary. You need to decide, this is what I want. Is there a crunch time needed? Yes. Will there be a temporary imbalance and maybe I need to let go of a couple of other things? Yes, but it doesn't mean that you cannot pick up where you left it. It doesn't mean that you can refocus, that you can focus shift. That's the important thing to understand. It doesn't mean that you have to let the other things go indefinitely. You can relook at it, reframe, and restart again. And that's something important to understand. Step number 4, build guardrails, not walls. Don't neglect other areas completely. It's not necessary. Just give them enough attention to stay healthy. If your career is the focus, your guardrail might be 2 workouts a week and 1 date night, no matter what. And you stick to it. And then sometimes you have to re-look at that construct and you need to reallocate time and shift a bit. But it's important that you consistently evaluate and that you understand what is happening and where am I heading. Step number 5, schedule 90-day recalibrations. Every 90 days, pause and ask, is my current season still the right one to focus on? If life shifts, so should your priorities. So you need to understand there could be a curveball from life. Maybe you get promoted all of a sudden. You just started this journey at the gym and you wanted this transformation. Now you get promoted. Now all of a sudden you need to work 4 hours more a day because the expectations have shifted. But now it's important that you understand what is happening here. If I have to work 4 hours more, then I won't be able to go to the gym. I won't be able to have that date night in the evening where I usually would have it. Now maybe I need to relook at things. Maybe I need to train more on the weekend. Allocate some time for date nights on the weekend. Look at what can I shift around. It's important that you evaluate, that you stay in tune with the things as they happen. And that is the important thing. Now you recognize you have to work more, you got promoted. So are you imbalanced? Well, if you're looking at it from a career perspective, most probably not, because maybe that's the promotion that you wanted. But from a relationship point of view, from a date night perspective, from a free time and your personal entertainment point of view, you're most probably moving away from balance. So what can I do now to turn that around and to keep that balance, or make sure that the distance, the shift away from balance doesn't become too dramatic, that I don't create a hell of a lot of carnage moving forward in that direction, forgetting everything else. So you see, it's about the balance. It's about understanding when are you moving away, when are you moving closer, and what can I do to even that out? What do I need to do to create an environment in which all of these things can still coexist? But most people, they get into autopilot. Now it's the focus on the career, it's the promotion. I forget everything else. I don't communicate with my partner. I don't cancel my gym membership or maybe shift the times. There's so many things that happen. It's a moving construct, and it's important that you constantly evaluate what's going on. And then you can countersteer. You need to find routes that supplement the other areas so that you don't completely let go of them. And that's how you can move yourself towards balance again. So it's important that you follow that. And it's important that you really understand the deeper meaning. Chasing balance is often about fear of missing out, regret, or judgment. But intentional imbalance is about ownership. It's the maturity to say, I know what matters most right now, and I'm going to give it my all. But understand that many people here also get it wrong. Now they say, okay, I have to sacrifice all of this. I need to focus on my work. And then they find themselves 5 years later, 10 years later, divorced or unhappy, totally under the corporate wheel or in the corporate hamster wheel, and everything else passed them by because they never stopped, stood still, and reevaluated and decided, how can I bring everything back into balance? When is the time to take the focus away from here again. So either one direction, if you're too extreme about it, it's not going to work out and you're not going to have any kind of balance. That's why intentional imbalance is a powerful tool, but you need to understand and you do need to evaluate. That's the secret. If you look at Elon Musk again, in his Tesla early years, work consumed him. Not balanced, but history making. What was important for him? What was the other things? Maybe intentional imbalance? Maybe a bit too extreme into one direction? That's the question. But you can't make a judgment because you don't know what the priorities were. You don't know how did he balance all the other things. Did he still have enough time for his family or for his girlfriends or whatever you want to call it? Look at Serena Williams training for a championship. Social life on pause, focus, razor sharp. And then in between, do you then recalibrate? Do you go back to an average training? Do you go back to spending more time with the family? That's the question here. I can give you some examples of coaching clients. One of my clients, a senior executive, she came to me burned out, trying to be a rock star leader, a present mother, a marathon runner, and a social butterfly, and that all at once. Through our coaching, she realized her real season was about deepening leadership in her new role. We built an intentional imbalance plan. 70% of her time went into work projects and leadership development with non-negotiables for family time and self-care. In 6 months, she landed a global promotion and ironically felt more present with her kids than before because she wasn't living in guilt anymore. So it's all about systems. It's all about understanding that movement towards or away from balance. And the same counts for happiness. So you just have to be intentional. Let me give you some advanced strategies. Priority mapping with emotional weighing. Don't just list your priorities. Rate them based on both their logical importance and emotional resonance. Opportunity gatekeeping. Before saying yes, ask, does this feed my anchor priority or does it drain focus from it? This single filter can save hours and prevent burnout. Energy economics. Treat your energy like a limited currency. Invest heavily where the return on investment is greatest and cut off the energy leaks you've been justifying for too long. And let me give you your weekly challenge. This week, grab a notebook and do the following. Write down all the roles, goals, and responsibilities currently competing for your attention. Number 2, circle the one that matters most in your current season of life. Number 3, decide on your guardrails. For the other areas, minimum attention required to keep them alive. Number 4, tell at least one person what you've chosen and why. This creates both clarity and accountability. And that's it. That was a powerful one. I hope that you're going to listen to it again or that you made some notes. Understand, this is really, really transformational if you do what I've told you earlier in this episode. Please use it as something that you try maybe for 90 days and then give me feedback. Let me know. Did it help you? What was your opinion? What do you think about the episode? Please get in touch. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it has worked for you. It's really important. And if this episode challenged you, share it with someone stuck in the balance myth. Take the episode link, copy it, paste it to 3 people on WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you communicate with your people, and then let them join the tribe. Rate, like, subscribe. It helps me, and I'm really, really grateful for it. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this every week consistently, and I really want to create a tribe. People that meet, get together at face value to get better at this thing called life and business. And let's not forget our sponsor. If you want sharper thinking, deeper focus, and more energy for your anchor priority, check out our sponsor, Doc Marty Mushrooms at docmarty.com. Martin, the founder, which is a good friend of mine, has a passion that's rare. He doesn't just sell mushrooms. He lives and breathes the mission of better health, sharper minds, and longer, fuller lives. His work is about fueling people who want to live intentionally and make an impact. And that's exactly what we talk about here. And if you use the code DAN20, DAN20, then you get an exclusive to the Success Blueprint 20% discount on your first purchase. So head over to drmarty.com. You won't regret it. His products are amazing. He also has a brand new range for kids. He is passionate and he deserves to succeed. And he is also heavily involved in helping other people succeed. So please give Marty a thumbs up, order some of his products, and you will not regret it. And in closing, I want to leave you with one thought. Balance in the form that most people know it is an illusion. Power comes from deciding what matters most right now and going all in. When you give yourself permission to tip the scales, you stop living for appearances and start building the life you were meant to live. I want you to ask yourself the question from now on: when am I moving closer towards balance? When am I moving away from it? And what can I do about it? And the same with happiness. That's it. That's what I leave you with. I hope that you have a fantastic week. And that was Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on the Success Blueprint, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care, tribe.